The biggest, most popular brands are partly successful due to their logos. Logos is how we recognize brands we trust, and these companies know that. So they spend big money making sure their logo is perfect in every way. These logos become so popular in themselves that people gravitate to them. People every day buy specific brands simply off that logo that they recognize. For the most part, logos tend to represent the brand. However, most people have no idea that most of these famous logos have a dark hidden meaning behind them. Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome back to The Truth Is, where I drop new videos every other day exposing the truth. In today's episode, we will be talking about the dark hidden meaning behind the biggest brand logos. Let's get right into it. While most people look at these logos and only see their favorite companies, people who have an understanding of symbology can see the hidden meaning behind these logos. I myself have spent a lot of time studying symbols in order to make the videos I have made, and it's impossible to unsee what these logos really represent once you notice what's hidden in them. The people who have these logos made love to use symbols with hidden meanings that most of the population doesn't pick up on. These symbols often tie back to the occult and usually play a hidden purpose. While people see these logos as nothing more than a brand, the symbol itself has more power than people would ever imagine. Remember, those who own these massive brands are usually men who are all a part of the same secret club. These men hide their secret alliances to their club by incorporating their symbols into their logos. In today's episode, we will be going through some of the most famous brand logos and revealing the hidden meaning behind them. Some of these secret meanings are pretty obvious, but others are more complex and completely hidden that most people would have never picked up on. We are going to start with one of the most popular logos of them all, the Apple logo. Apple is one of the biggest companies in the world right now, worth trillions of dollars. Apple has become one of the most recognizable brands in the world, and that's heavily in part due to their simple logo of a bitten apple. I know you have all seen this Apple logo, it's everywhere. Most of you have it stamped on the back of your phone right now. As most people in the US use iPhones, it's the most popular choice. This bitten apple logo has become so famous worldwide that people have even gotten it tattooed. But have you ever wondered why Apple even called themselves Apple or chose a bitten apple as their logo? What do apples even have to do with computers and iPhones? Well, some of you might already know this one, but pretty much the rest of the world is clueless. The reason the logo is a bitten apple, it's because it's meant to represent the forbidden fruit. This is why the apple is shown bitten. Now I know in the Bible it didn't mention what fruit exactly the forbidden fruit was. Historically, the apple has been used to represent the forbidden fruit. This is why drawings depicting Adam and Eve are often shown eating an apple. If we look at the original Apple logo from the 70s, we see how obvious it is. According to Apple, the logo is supposed to be Sir Isaac Newton sitting under the apple tree where he supposedly discovered gravity by an apple falling on his head. What the logo really is a representation of is the Garden of Eden and the forbidden fruit, as the logo shows a man in the Garden of Eden sitting under the tree of knowledge of good and evil. This is why it was eventually changed to a bitten apple. The logo of the bitten apple is meant to represent how using the Apple computer was like taking a bite of the forbidden fruit, as it granted you unlimited knowledge. Essentially representing through Apple, you will become as a god knowing good and evil. Now think about it. Millions of people walk around with these iPhones with the bitten apple on the back of it. Phones that contain all the knowledge of the universe. Now I bet you can never look at the logo the same again. The next logo we're going to be talking about is the Nike logo. Nike or Nike, whatever you choose to call them, is one of the most popular sports brands in the world. Just like Apple, Nike also has one of the most popular logos in the world, the iconic check symbol. Most people have this symbol on their sneakers and their clothes every single day. Now, just like with Apple, a check doesn't really represent Nike's clothing brand. So why is their logo a check? And is it even a check? Nike actually calls the symbol a swoosh, and they claim it represents the wing of the Greek goddess Nike, symbolizing speed, movement, power, and motivation. So Nike is actually named after this Greek goddess. The Nike goddess is equivalent in Egyptian mythology to the Egyptian war god Neith. This all ties back to the elite's love for ancient religions that have been favored by occultists. Occultists perform ceremonies to these ancient gods, which is interesting considering most of the elite who own these companies are a part of a secret society like the Freemasons. Did you know that when you put on your Nike sneakers, you were wearing a symbol meant to honor a pagan deity? Most likely not. The next logo we're going to be talking about is the one that belongs to one of the most popular coffee shops in the world, Starbucks. Millions of people all over the US go to Starbucks every single day to get their favorite cup of coffee. This has made the Starbucks logo one of the most known logos in the world. The current logo depicts what looks like a woman smiling with a star over her head. Pretty innocent, right? Well, no, as this logo has been changed over the years to hide what it really represents. This is the original Starbucks logo, and it depicts a two-tailed siren. A siren, for those who don't know, is a creature from Greek mythology that lured sailors with their singing and beautiful appearances and then devoured them. According to Starbucks, the idea behind the logo was that it was believed that sirens lured sailors with their beautiful voices to a shipwreck off the coast. Drawing on this as inspiration, the founders wanted to give off the idea that Starbucks seduces coffee lovers into their coffee shops. The siren already is a bad indication, as Starbucks is claiming that they are luring coffee lovers into their demise, as that's exactly what sirens do, trick sailors and lead them into shipwrecks. The symbol also has a double meaning, as it has roots in alchemy, as a twin-tailed mermaid is an alchemic symbol that represents the union of earth and water, which is a representation of the great work when two opposites come together. Something else that many people have pointed out, when you flip the logo upside down, it kind of appears like Baphomet, another deity that's worshipped by many occultists. Not only does the symbol indicate that their coffee shop is somehow a siren, luring customers into their doom, but the symbol also openly shows its connection to the occult. The next popular logo we're going to be talking about is the Gmail logo. If you ever sent an email before, chances are it was through Gmail. Gmail is one of the most popular email services available today. Most of us have Gmail installed on our phones right now as we speak. The logo for Gmail is this symbol of what is supposed to be an envelope. But most of the world doesn't know that this logo has a double meaning. In order to clearly see it, we must first look at the original Gmail logo, which is this one, a red envelope. While to the average person, this looks like a simple envelope, to a master mason, this symbol represents something else entirely. The logo is actually a representation of a trim Masonic apron. The Masonic apron is given to every man who becomes a Freemason. Looking at the two side by side, it's almost impossible to unsee, and you can clearly see the resemblance. Now, the G in Gmail takes a whole new meaning, as we know in the middle of the Masonic square and compasses we can find a G. Even on some Masonic aprons we can find a G. This one was shocking when I first discovered it years back, and I was seriously taken back on how they hide these symbols in everyday logos. Now, many of these other logos we're going to be talking about have similar symbols that all have the same hidden meaning. Many of these brands love to incorporate the all-seeing eye, or just an eye, which represents the all-seeing eye. Let's start with the AOL logo. Many of you used to use AOL back in the day. Some of you still probably do. You most likely saw this logo so many times and didn't think anything of it. But this logo is so obvious. The logo is a triangle with two crescents positioned together to make an eye. Taking one good look at it, you can't unsee its obvious resemblance to the all-seeing eye. The all-seeing eye is an Egyptian symbol that represents the god Horus. Freemasons heavily incorporate the all-seeing eye into their craft, basically adopting the symbol for themselves. The all-seeing eye represents Horus and enlightenment through the Masonic teachings. The symbol again ties back to the occult, as many of these other symbols do. Many companies use the same symbols in their logos in different variations. Delta also contains the pyramid in their logo, again showing their Masonic connection. It's the same thing with Citgo, as the logo is just a triangle again pointing to the all-seeing eye. With the company Fidelity, it's even more obvious, as the logo is the literal all-seeing eye straight up. Now, let's talk about the logos that just feature a variation of an eye. The CBS logo that people see every time they watch CBS programming is a symbol of a single eye. Since the all-seeing eye has a single eye in the capstone, occultists use this eye to represent the all-seeing eye. Also, the Egyptian god Horus only had one eye. So when you see the one-eye symbolism, they are showing praise to the god Horus. The LG logo is also a face with a person showing just one eye, again pointing to the one-eye symbolism. The massive bank Chase also uses the eye in their logo, as their logo is just an eye. Goodwill also uses a single eye in their logo as well. This is especially interesting as Freemasons love to hide their actions by doing charity work. They do a lot of charity events in order to win over the community so they can be accepted. Target's logo is also an eye, but it has a double second meaning. as it also represents Saturn. The old god Saturn is another deity these occultists often worship and give praise to. The god Saturn is represented by the planet Saturn, which has a ring around the planet. This is why so many famous logos either use Saturn as their logo or have rings in their logos to represent Saturn's ring. For those that use a Galaxy phone, you might notice that the Samsung Internet logo looks awfully like Saturn. That's because it is. The logo is just a slanted Saturn. Samsung is also showing their alliance to the pagan god. Burger King is another company that uses Saturn in their logo, as their logo shows the ring around the Burger King text, which represents the ring around the planet. It's the same thing with DirecTV, which also uses the Saturn rings in their logo. And we can also see it with the car-making giants Nissan, which also incorporates Saturn's ring in their logo. As we can see, Nissan is surrounded by Saturn's ring. Capital One also has Saturn's ring in its logo. As you can see, this is clearly half of Saturn's ring. The same thing with Citibank that also features Saturn's ring in the logo. Many of these popular logos use Saturn symbolism like the AAA logo as well, which clearly is again depicting Saturn's rings. These are only some of the logos that have secret hidden meanings behind them, but there's many more that I didn't get into in this video. If you like this video and want me to reveal more of these secret meanings, let me know below by commenting part 2, and if enough of you want to see that, I'll make sure to get it done. If you're wondering why all these companies use these same symbols, it's because it all ties back to the secret club the owners of these companies are a part of. The Freemasons is the secret society for the elite. They tend to buy out every company that reaches tons of influence, either extremely early in the company's development or they even found the company themselves. The Freemasons are a proud organization and they love to make their presence known through symbolism. That's why their symbols are everywhere, letting us know exactly who are behind these massive companies. I want to know what you guys think below. Did you know some of these hidden meanings, or were you shocked by the symbolism behind your favorite brand logos? Make sure to let me know if you guys want a part 2. Well, I'm gonna end this one here, but before you guys go, make sure you're subscribed with the notification bell on. This way you don't miss any new content. Also, make sure to like, comment, and share this video as it helps spread the content so others can see the truth. I want to thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.